Hello. Do you ever feel like you're speaking projector, but the world only speaks generator? I know I have.
Yes, especially right now. And it's sometimes, I don't know, it just feels like the world doesn't get us, or maybe even we don't understand ourselves right now.
Well, we are here to change that. Welcome to Projectors in the Wild, where we share our personal experiences in life, parenthood, and business as a projector, doing our best to thrive in a generator world.
Hey, folks, welcome. I'm sorry we're a little late today. I own that one. My name is Heather Vickery. I'm a transformation coach, speaker, author, retreat host, here to help guide conscious leaders to learn to lead from embodied joy, because when joy is your set point and not your end goal, everything changes.
And I'm Natalie Barnett, a success coach for business owners who are ready to get rid of all the blocks that are holding them back.
As projectors, we are simply not here to fit in, but we are here to guide and lead. And on Projectors in the Wild, Natalie and I share the raw, honest truth about what it's like to be a projector out in a generator world. The good, the messy, the downright confusing, it's all on the table.
That's right. So if you are a projector ready to embrace your unique flow, or someone who just wants to better understand your projector friends, pull up a chair. We're about to get real, and it's going to be a wild ride.
Because we're projectors in the wild. I like that line. Wild ride. Hey, Natalie.
I got bangs.
You did. I was like, wait, what? At first I was like, is that AI? Is she tricking us, or did she really get bangs? They're cute.
Thank you. I just needed like a change.
I stand firm on the fact that a woman is like ready for change when she changes her hair.
That is very true.
Like,
I feel
I
that.
can control this. So let me start here and then I'm going to go.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it feels like. Except I could definitely use a nap, but that's typical.
I could really use a nap today, and I'm sorry. Being late was absolutely on me this time.
Oh, good.
I just got distracted and I was like, oh shit, it's 1:33.
I know how that is. And it's like a weird week. It's a short week, with Thanksgiving holiday. I mean, maybe not for everybody, but I'm just like trying to reevaluate, like trying to fit in stuff that I need to get done, but also really looking forward to some downtime.
Yes. Will you get some? So not everybody gets downtime during the holidays.
I will get some. I'm creating that for myself.
Good. I will get some, but not until the weekend. So we're traveling. We're having the official, I don't know if you remember, my grandfather passed away back in September. And we did a celebration of life, but he was a veteran. So we have a full military service where they're interning ashes into the military plot. So that is early on Wednesday. So we have to leave from home really early to drive to Indy for that. Mm-hmm. And then, I love my people, but it's a little stressful to be home, which isn't home. My mom says, well, wherever I am, that's your home. And I get that as a mom, that's true. But I haven't lived in Indianapolis in a long time, almost 30 years. So
it doesn't feel like it anymore, right?
Yeah, definitely doesn't feel like it. And then so it'll be intense. But then we come back and I will have the weekend alone, which will be really exciting.
That is really exciting. Yeah, we usually travel to go back up to DC for Thanksgiving with my side of the family, but just decided to stay home this year, and we don't even have to be anywhere until like 3:00 on Thanksgiving. So gonna take it easy in the morning. Take the day off. I mean, honestly, I'm looking forward to having a good mix of rest and catching up on a few things I really want to get caught up on. So I don't know, it feels like it's going to be, I have more time to stretch things out without people, expecting me to be on. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not going to be on calls or anything.
Yeah.
I'm actually, it's like if I could create this all the time, that space of just time, like open space. That would be great.
Which is such a projector desire, right? And how do we make that happen? It's funny that you say that, because earlier today, I sent you this link and I was looking through your stories, which once again, you blow me away. I'm like, man, and here's my number one limiting voice. If you just worked harder, you'd have the things that you want. Like, man, if I could just put as much effort in as Natalie does, then maybe it would be different, right? Because you've got all these, I don't know. They're beautiful. Y'all go and follow Natalie on Instagram and look at her stories, and they're fantastic. And then I had this really clear message, like the download, like, you know how just there's sort of whoosh in that said, you need to figure out how to run your business without social media.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
It's not judgment on you or anyone else. And that feels really scary because I'm like, I don't know how to do that, but there's got to be a way to do it. There are lots of people that have their business and it doesn't have a social media. Not that you don't have a social media presence, but that's not your sales plan. That's not your funnel plan.
I kind of just started getting that message too. And looking into, Google. I'm actually going to start looking into ads.
Me too.
Send people to like my quiz or something, like send them to a free thing and get them on my email list. Cause I mean, I went to a mastermind this weekend, a 1-day intensive mastermind. And, one of the things that came through for me was like, I don't like Facebook groups, and I have tried to do Facebook groups in the past, and I just don't want to do them. So I have one for my business that I am going to effectively shut down. And I think I'm keeping like a Telegram chat for people to come and
love Telegram.
Yeah, it feels good there. But Instagram also has just announced that they're not going to be pushing out your content to new people. So if you're using Instagram to be found, it's going to be less and less effective for that. So then it's like, oh, you got to find another platform to be on. And I flat out don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But you've got the networking breakfast, right? It's another vehicle.
And you do too. Yep. And actually through that avenue, I've been given permission to expense going to some other local events, some other local networking events, which I'm like, okay, now I need to take that serious. I got to get up. I got to get out of the house. I got to talk to people. I need to be in rooms. That's the message that keeps coming professionally, but also post-election, like soul-centered, heart-centered wise, is we need to circle the wagons in person in the community. And I'm finding it really difficult. I've got all those really easy excuses for why. I don't know how, I don't know who. I'm like, whatever. I've got Eventbrite up and Meetup up, and I don't like, all of it just feels gross, but I got to get out. I got to get up and I got to get out and I got to start talking to people. And I do think it's going to make a difference. I'm hoping, because social media is not it for me anymore.
Yeah, it's starting to it just feels like a lot of resistance. And you can still, I'm not saying like don't use it. I'm just saying like it can't be for me the only thing. But I just don't know. Yeah, I also like, I really like to be alone. I like being in my little bubble. So getting out and doing more, and like just even being area director for this, networking breakfast like you are, but in Williamsburg, that is getting me out of my comfort zone big time. And I find myself being like, oh, I got to reach out to some more people today. And and it just feels uncomfortable, but it doesn't feel wrong. It still feels exciting.
Yeah. It feels exciting to me too. And I think once it's happening, it's going to be really exciting. I don't like that sort of cold pitch approach either, but I met with some of the women in my cohort for the breakfast earlier today. And I was telling them that of the seats I've sold for my breakfast, which is happening on December 13th, only 2 of them are people that I know.
Yeah.
So the other ones must have come from these Facebook posts or these LinkedIn posts, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It feels weird. And when I think about it, Okay, so here, maybe what am I like? What is the message I'm getting right now as a projector? Oh, wow. Okay, the message that's coming through really clear right now, and I'm really curious to hear what you think of it, is if you will get up and get out and meet people, you will be able to work less.
Yeah, I agree with that because it's about, the penetrating aura, the being in being in person with people. People, when people know me, they hire me.
That's
That,
how
that's how it feels. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's the first time I've ever been able to put that into words. You can work less
Hmm.
and thrive, but
Yeah.
you've got to get up and out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's good. I like it. I'm gonna borrow
Interesting.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited because, I had that mastermind and I mapped out 2025 and there are some things that I need to change and say no to, and in order to be able to do this without driving myself crazy, burning out. And really utilizing Instagram was a big part of that. But and I don't know, I just got this outside feedback. I haven't like fully digested it through my system yet, but having another platform to bring in people. I don't want to dilute and like I don't want to be on social all the time,
I think
basically.
it's YouTube for me. And that feels really overwhelming because I have absolutely no idea how to grow things on YouTube.
Yeah.
And that's a dumb excuse. My first coach ever said there's no such thing as I don't know how.
Right.
And the want to is cranked up high enough, you figure out how.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess what I don't want to do is like randomly search like YouTube growth strategies or whatever. I want somebody that I trust to guide me through it, and I got to figure out
Yeah.
how that is. But I
Yeah.
think somehow there's growth in YouTube, which
Hmm.
can condense things, but I don't know for sure what that looks like. So if you're watching this and you are an expert in growing and making money from YouTube, maybe you should reach out to me, Natalie.
Yeah. Bring it on to Heather. She needs the guidance. I'm not that person. So
Right? I know. Yeah, I know. It's so interesting. And the message, it just keeps coming back. And so I know it's time to really listen to it. You're also splenic. We're both splenic projectors. How do these messages show up for you? And how often do they have to show up for you to be like, okay, I'm paying attention?
So it's funny, like the really big ones I can't not pay attention to, but things like this where I might be in my head more, I don't know, because I don't even know that I'm getting them right now. Maybe I am. When I said that, it was like, yes, you are. So like, am I like, do I want to find a new platform to bring awareness? There's a yes there. I just don't know where it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it comes from up here and it just kind of goes through my body. It's not like a strong, you know, gut feeling or anything. It's just like a
Because we don't have the
lightness.
sacrals defined.
Yeah. Just like a lightness or
What I
ping.
think that it is, and I'm getting more and more connected to it,
Hmm.
like the message I said when I saw your stuff, and that thought, the open head center was like, if I could do it like Natalie, I'd be doing so well. And then the immediate message, and it's just like this resounding noise. That's me. That's
Hmm.
me. It's my own voice that says, no, you need to get out of social media, which
Yeah.
of course YouTube is sort of social media, but sort of not. It's more of a search engine kind of thing.
Yeah.
And more and more, it is just this loud inner voice that demands to be heard.
Hmm.
I also have noticed an uptick in um, angel numbers.
Yes, I have too. But I don't think I've paid very much attention to what was happening at the time.
I don't know how much it matters. So there was an intuitive that I follow on TikTok, over the weekend that said, yes, the more connected you get, the more you'll notice them. And it's just a sign that you're connected. It's just an awareness. So now for me, and I could be wrong, maybe what you're doing at the time is important, but I think for me, when I see them, I just want to pause and acknowledge, I see this. I'm paying attention. I am here. I am open. I am aware. What do you need to use me for?
Right. Okay. I like that. I like that. Yeah, I've just seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 11, 11 a lot. 11, 11 a lot.
11, 11, 111. Woke up this morning, 111, and I'm like, I just touched the phone just to look. 111. I'm like, okay. 444. I'm seeing a ton. 333. All of them. They've all been. Yesterday I saw 444, 333. 1111, like, and I just noticed them throughout the day. So it's just interesting. And there does seem to be this party line, at least in the social circles online that I'm in, of this rapid rise of the feminine divine.
Where?
Well, it's not physically manifesting.
Okay.
Are you not seeing any of that?
I should probably stop watching news.
You should stop watching news. Not to tell you what to do,
but
I would highly recommend you stop watching the news.
Because that just looks like a shit show.
Well, it is. The message that I'm seeing and the message that I'm getting, which is really interesting, and I'm seeing it from a lot of people, is that it is, so this new level of awareness, you're having it, I'm having it, women around the globe are having it. And they're like, the fact that it's so apparent and so big for so many people is sort of showing that we're rising.
Yeah.
And that we have to stay in the higher vibration, which is why the news is like a shit show, right?
Yes.
And I don't watch any mainstream media. I don't turn it on. I don't do any of that. I follow on Threads and I follow on Instagram, and that's stressful. And I mean, like today's news, did you see it earlier today?
Yeah.
All cases dropped.
Yeah.
I was like,
I mean, like, can't
right.
fucking win.
Well, but there wouldn't be a win anyway. What would happen, right? If you tease that out, the case would get dropped in January anyway. The new DOJ. But anyway, all of this to say, I know because we've talked about this before, that what's happening here is creating what's happening in the future.
Yes.
And so the reality of energy isn't this moment. It's out there. And so staying in the high vibration, whatever you need to do to stay in the high vibration, don't be ignorant, obviously, be aware, but staying in there in that space and trusting the process. And that's just what I'm trying to do, like with my life. I also want somebody to write me a paycheck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really? Can somebody just start writing me a paycheck?
That'd be cool.
It was my business. I love my business, but it would be really nice to just be able to do it easily. I posted last week. Did we talk about this on Monday? I think it was after Monday. I was like, I really just want to get paid to read books and travel, preferably to read books while traveling.
I can see that now.
And I would still do my work, but I wouldn't have to charge people. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I know. That would be really cool. Well, we put it out there.
Did.
So see that return in a couple months.
So we'll see what happens. So what's your projector life been like in the past week?
Good. It was a lot of traveling in a short amount of time. So drove up to Philadelphia for the mastermind. Stayed there 2 nights because I got in really late on Thursday. I had a setting on my phone that said avoid tolls.
Oh, I saw that.
And so it took me like 6 hours to get there instead of 4.5 hours to get there. Toll roads really help, and I will pay $10 to get there faster. So didn't get a whole lot of sleep that first night, but had a great day. Then got a good night's sleep that night. And then drove home, but there was traffic getting out of the city because there was a race outside, like a running race. Anyway, so it just has it. Then I spent a night with my family because I won't see them for Thanksgiving. So it felt really good. It didn't feel like overexerted. It just felt like maybe a lot of sitting, you know. And because I had some realizations of like I've got to let some things go, even if they're not bad. It's just that they're not the main focus, and I have to make some space, like that space I was talking about earlier. I need to make more of this space. So I think just having that realization of like, okay, it's time to do that felt really good. And so I'm in the process of, and I can't just like, well, some things I can stop and some things I need to like give some time, which is like a month or so. Like it's not going to be forever, to stop and slow down on that so I can focus in on what I want to do this year. But I also still feel like there's a little bit of a waiting, like my energy is still in a waiting period. It's so funny because it wasn't, and now it is. And I'm not exactly sure why, but I'm just kind of honoring that. Like I'm not stopping, I'm just not full speed aheading, maybe just letting things integrate a bit.
That feels like your spleen to me.
Yeah. I think it is. Just it's time. I just need to integrate a little bit more what I mapped out. And I wrote a hypnosis audio to record for myself and a subliminal audio to record for myself and a tapping video to make for myself during this time. So I'm excited about that.
It's interesting that you say that because I was just thinking earlier today how called I feel to listening to audios that are mine.
Yeah.
I think there's something really powerful about, and that's a shift for me. It used to be, oh, I need an expert. I need this mentor to talk to me. And the shift now feels like, no, I need to hear myself so that I can do the thing I tell everybody else is trust myself. Like the message has to come from me.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. But remember, the spleen is the oldest known anthropological safety mechanism. And the spleen inherently is this isn't safe, don't.
Right.
It's not a yes energy, although I feel like I know when I have a yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not exactly sure where that comes from, but if your message is slow down, pull back, surrender, that sounds like splenic energy to me.
Yeah, that's what it is, even though like my brain wants to be like, no, it's time to go. It's something like I'm not, like I said, I'm not stopping. I'm just not pushing forward. Pushing is maybe not the right word, but like initiating. That's not what I'm supposed to do anyway.
You're not supposed to do. Yeah.
Not supposed to do that. I think this is interesting. Like having a setting where you get to really think about what you outside of your normal setting with the normal distractions and really thinking and focusing on your business. It can create like that little bit of that like pocket of energy right there where you kind of have to like settle in a little bit, just settle into that energy. And I think that's why I was called to make those audios, because I need to, it's almost like I'm shifting into that. It's like at an identity level, really.
Yeah.
And so that's where I feel like I am right now.
When you create those audios for yourself, what is your script creation process?
So I really like metaphors. And actually I got this one from my coach, Jackie, and she was like, it's like building a wave. It's like a wave. So it doesn't crash right away. It builds over time. It builds up, and then it kind of with flow, like a wave, not like a destructive wave, but like it's flow. So everything that you do, every action you take now is like just building that wave. So you don't have to put a lot of pressure on it. It felt like ease and flow. And I have, even in my logo, I've got the ocean in my logo. So I find actually sometimes it just lands for me. I find a metaphor or it just comes to me, and start there. And I really just besides that one main metaphor, it's a lot of visual, like what I'll see, what I'll hear, like just all the five senses.
Yeah.
And usually I end with some, affirmation type things at the end, to finish things out. And then I'll pull from those to make the subliminal audio too.
Do you ever use AI to help you with any of that?
Yes. Like I'm pretty good with like the recall. What did I forget that what that's called? Just like the imagery that they gave you, that somebody gave you, or I gave myself, to like kind of create that. But sometimes to build out like a story or add on to that metaphor. Yeah,
I do too. It's my own I always start with my own internal thoughts and dialogue, but I often put them in almost bullet style and say, now turn this into something.
Yeah.
And then I change it. But
yeah, and then you kind of tweak it.
I don't have the capability of doing that. It just takes a little bit of pressure off and it saves a little bit of time.
For sure. And you know what? They're almost always really good. And you just have to tweak a few things. So yeah. Exactly. But just like knowing, because it's more, yes, it's the words and making sure that it's positively stated, all that jazz like that we learn in training. But it's also just like you going there first as you're recording it. So if you're feeling excited or calm or feeling that as you're speaking it, because it comes across in the script.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I wonder if it would be useful for one or both of us to do some that are projector specific.
I was planning on, I still probably will do it, creating a subliminal audio for projectors. Because in my broadcast channel, which I probably will be not ending, but like kind of switching the focus of that. But before I do, I have an open loop of creating a subliminal for the people in there that are projectors. So yeah, I think it'll be super helpful. I mean, you can use it for anything. Like if you're going through, like my uncle who's going through cancer treatment, I made him one just to picture everything healing and working and feeling great the whole time. And when I was doing, I did Kabbalah 1 lessons just to kind of dive deeper into Kabbalah. And I was like, I feel like it would be really supportive to have a subliminal audio for this, which is like the pausing before reacting type of thing. I was like, oh, that would be really helpful. So you can use it for anything.
I know. I love it.
Yeah.
That's such a great resource.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How's your projector life?
My projector life. It's okay. There was a little bit of hectic activity last year. Mom life sort of won out over projector life last week. I said I taught a class on Friday morning, and I was like, this week feels like a long year, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is how I feel for sure. But the weekend was good. It was a nice combo of like I did some organizing and cleaning, and and I don't enjoy doing those things, but I definitely feel really called to cleansing and decluttering and mentally, emotionally, physically, like all of it. So that was interesting. And a lot of rest. For me, you don't love the bath. I love the bath, taking baths, reading. Fierce self-compassion is so powerful and so good. And that has been interesting. And it's helpful for me as a projector, like to not shut down all of those quote unquote negative feelings and what anger means. So anybody who's following my stuff online, you're going to see that I'm talking a lot about angry. I'm angry.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And then that's fascinating. The people who respond negatively to that, mostly men, but not always. And maybe they're bots. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's all like, oh, anger is it's such a hostile response and it's going to keep you stuck and all this and that. And I don't think that that's true. I think compassionate anger is a motivator and it's a reminder of what you're working for. And it can't be anger. It can't be, I don't remember what she calls it, but like retributive anger. Like, oh, I hope those people burn. Like, it's not that. It's just angry enough that I want to create change.
Yes.
So that's been interesting.
Yeah. I was listening on Spotify and I got the notice it should refresh in like 3 days. I got the notice I did too many listening hours this month and it'll refresh in 5 days. And that was a couple days ago. So I was like, dang it.
Do you use your library card and use Hoopla or Libby?
No, I don't. I don't know why I don't. I know that it exists.
Oh, it's the best. The best.
Yeah.
I do. I will listen on Spotify. I don't like to listen on Spotify. And the reason is because sometimes it skips things.
Oh.
And I don't know how or why. I'm sure it's user error, but it's just really easy to do it.
Oh, okay.
For me. I'm like, oh, I went to the next chapter, but I hadn't finished that one. And I don't see it until I go back and look.
Oh, okay.
But if you have a local library card, all you got to do is put the numbers in.
Yeah.
I couldn't read the way I read or listen the way I listen without it. There's no way 125 books a year. I mean, they're almost all borrowed from the library.
Yeah, I need to look into that because I mean, I think you get a good amount of hours. It's just that I have been listening to a lot of books.
15.
Yeah, I've been listening to long books. So yeah.
I listened. It was painful, but in the right ways. I listened to Hillary Clinton's latest book, Something Lost, Something Gained. And I started it right after the election, which was maybe not the best idea because it was just hurt. Yeah. But also I learned a lot and it's important. And then the epilogue, which isn't in the book, it's only on the audio because the book had to go to print before Joe Biden stepped down.
Okay.
And in the epilogue, she talks about Joe Biden stepping down and having Kamala Harris call her and get on the phone with her. And she said, people used to always ask me how I would feel if another woman were to become president. And I wondered myself, would I be jealous? Would I be angry? Would I be like, that's supposed to be me? And she said, and I can now tell you, no, I'm thrilled. I'm excited. Like, this is exciting. And it was like, oh, we were so hopeful. And we were so close. It was heartbreaking, but also feels really important. And the stuff that she talks about is holy shit. Like, I don't know, man. Anyway, listening is good.
Yeah, I need to do that. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to read very much. I mean, not as much as I can without.
Yeah. Me either.
Okay. So how are you? So I know you have to travel and you have to be, you're going to be with family. What are you doing on the weekend that's going to be very restorative for you?
Yeah, my intention is nothing other than relaxing and reading and sleeping. I will have to walk the dog because I will be the only one home with him. I will have it out right here, my metaphysical PhD reading, which is actually quite uplifting and wonderful because it's all about meditation. Yeah. And nothing else. I shouldn't say that. Saturday is my daughter's birthday. So she turns 15. So I'll be there for dinner and I might take her. She might want to go to a movie or something like that on Saturday. But other than that, I'm just literally allowing myself to do nothing. And usually that means reading. Sometimes it means I feel like watching TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it always surprises me when that happens because it's very rare, but on occasion it does happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That sounds good. Yeah. I know I'll catch up on a few things that I just want. It'll feel really good to catch up on work-wise, but really excited to, I don't know. Yeah. Do nothing, like literally.
Yep.
Yes. Take it easy on a day. And also I feel like it's important with that feeling of slowing down a little bit or just like integrating a little bit more before moving into this new, it's like something else has to drop in before I can really fully go.
But you got to be open. You got to be slow enough to catch it when it drops in.
Exactly. Yeah. I like it.
Well, friend, it's so good to see you. I was super tired coming in today and I'm like, it'll be good to talk to Natalie. It's always good.
I was tired too. But it's good. It always feels good at the end.
It does. All right. Well, have a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. And
Bye, everybody.
yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Okay. All right.